going on, guys? Just give me 2 seconds here, guys. Give me 2 seconds here. How you guys doing? How you guys doing? Hello, hello. Give me a few seconds as I get set up. Interesting trading day. A lot of chop. I was green most of the day until the end. I had a feeling I was going to go red. I was green about 25, 30 grand. And then I had a feeling I was going to go red. Just things weren't looking good. Most of my positions intraday and sort of got dumped on. But kind of talk through today's trading day as well as the month, and then what I'm looking for going forward, guys. Just give me about 30 seconds, 45 seconds here for folks to hop on. I just want to make sure people are on the stream here. Okay, it looks like everyone's online here. Awesome. I'll go live over a few things in a minute. 1 second. Awesome. So I'll be super quick today, guys. It's going to be super quick today. I'll talk through trades, entries, exits. Yeah, so I'm going to kind of just walk through a lot of my trades for today. Let's start with ticker ELYS. Beautiful close, 662. Trading down at after hours. I'm going to show you guys what happened. I lured the news right here. It's a 5-minute interval chart. By the way, this is Spud from Spud Zone for new followers and subscribers that are sort of following me and connecting with me. I am not a financial advisor. I am not a planner of any sort. I trade my own money. I am learning what I am buying and selling in real time. I have over 17,000 followers in Discord. 22,000 followers StockTwits, and over 54,000 followers on Webull. So you can follow me on a lot of those platforms, as well as follow me here on YouTube. I've gotten hundreds of feedback and DMs from some of these videos, all perfectly free content. So please do take pen and paper and notes. I highly recommend it, and I also advise it doing as well. So you can learn a ton doing this stuff, especially following along. So. I'm going to go through the trading day today. Ticker ELYS, ELYS Gaming Tech Corp. I had some nice news in the morning. I think the news came out. There was a halt here. Nice buying volume. I originally saw this in the 530s, 540s. I didn't take a position. I didn't know if it was going to get slammed down the 520s. Although I should have added some size down there because it had a beautiful day and uprip, especially in a slow August small cap market here. And then I sort of took my first entry in here around the 570s, scalped up into the 6s, rebought, scalped up to 590, rebought this dip here at I think it was 590, sold the rip into 630. That happened in about 30 seconds there from here to here, this candle. So I lured the news down in here. I didn't lure a buy or sell alert in here. And then I alerted my first buy alert right down in here around 580, 590, ripped up to 640. That's almost a 10% move there. And we saw some selling pressure. Didn't rebuy the dip 555. Ended up starting to trade other things. And then I re-alerted a buy here on a washout dip. I think it was right in here. It was like a 578, 580 dip. Alerted that and then bounced about 4%. And then we saw a nice bounce to 630s. So that was another 5 to 8% scalp you could have bought off the buy alert at 580. Then we saw the 570, 75 mark again, which is where it bounced here and bounced here on these candles. So you can assume, guys, that is major support on this name, right? 578, 578, 578. So, it bounced there, exploded there. So that's about 3 or 4 times. So what happens end of day at around, about, what is that, 2:40, 2:45 p.m., we get 575 again. So new buyers came in because they knew that was going to be a dip and rip potential. And then we blast off into outer space here, and we go all the way to 675 is the high of the day. It's about another 10-15% move from down here. So there was a ton of opportunities on this name all day. I probably could have played it more. I played it twice. I probably made a good 15, 20 grand on this name. This is probably one of my better names for today. I played it well. I could have probably played it more for 30, 40 grand profits, but, more scalps. I was picking my spots. I was riding dips, and I was selling rips. And that was really all that was here to see today. Any big washout, I was adding dips off supports. And I was selling rips when the volume came through. So I was selling the rip when the volume was strong and a ton of buyers. And that's where I was selling into the strength. As I always talk about, selling into strength, right? That's what I want to look for. That's what I want to do. So this was a good one, guys. Solid trades all day. I know folks in the Discord, you can see my live alerts all throughout the day. I think a lot of folks made some good coin on this one, which is phenomenal to see. I want to talk through my red day here about red 6,000. Everyone's like, Spud, how did you possibly go red today? That's a really good question. I don't know how, but I do know how, and I'm going to kind of walk through it. Ticker RNXT dumped 37% today. Exploded in about 30 minutes, 80% yesterday. So I figured with that kind of range and that kind of volatility in like an hour of time, obviously what goes up really that fast can come down that fast, and we saw that today on this ticker name. It's at 1850 last night, 1840, and now we're down at 979. I accumulated here. My first dip buy was right in here around 12. Bought about 12,000 shares at 12. Reloaded this dip at 1170, 1180. Another about 5,000 shares. Got my average to about 1180s, 1190s. And then I sort of just started getting smoked here. It's stop loss on our 1150, which was the low of the day support here, 1153. And it just started to dump on me. And this is just, I call this the kill candle for me. 5 minutes right before close, I don't know if this was algos. I don't know what this was, but 500,000 shares came through for a 9% downtick. That was the last 5 minutes of close. I absolutely got torched here. I probably lost about $25,000 to $30,000 on this $1,000 on this name all day, and this last ticker down here really just killed me. This ticker down probably just kind of took my green away, kind of bared me out. And I was hoping for like a consolidation here, right? Consolidate all here. And then I wanted to rip up into VWAP maybe to hit 12 13s. That would have been a nice 20, 30K print for me, maybe even 40K print. And that's what I thought this ticker was going to do today, 13s, and then maybe retest those 14s tomorrow. But it decided to go the opposite direction, and we are now heading in a downtrend here. I don't even know where the next supports are. Let me go look. I guess this truly was a pump and dump from yesterday. As I mentioned, it pumped 80% here. I thought I was going to catch the back end for a cap bounce for another 10, 15% move. The volume was pretty strong today as well, but didn't get it. This is a recent, I think, IPO. So that might be why the move downwards. There's some selling pressure here. There's some next support around next support around... What's the bottom of this candle? 990. So we do have big buying support at around 980 to 990. So that could potentially be a support level for this name. Maybe see a move to the 1011s tomorrow. I don't know. But we'll see what happens with this name. I got stopped out pretty hard. I don't know if I'm going to replay this one. Probably not. That was that name. Then SAVA, I gave an overnight alert yesterday if it goes above 54. We saw a beautiful move out of the gates, guys. We came here from the 53s. Beautiful move up to 62. It was about 15% move there, 12% move there to be precise. So that was a gorgeous overnight alert, 12% in one day, guys. In these kind of markets, if you can make 3%, 2% overnight, 5%, 10%, take it and run, especially in slow August, summer months when the liquidity and is a little bit less, big funds are on vacation, and there's not as much going on. You want to pick your winners and you want to run with your winners, especially if they're small. Especially if they're small. If you hit a home run in August, my opinion, you take it and run. There's a couple home runs this month where I sort of just knocked it out of the park, 30, 40, 50% move. And it helped me sort of establish a beautiful close to my month, around $243,000 this month, which is good. It's a green month. It's not my best month. It's not my worst month, but it was a solid August month because I was red the last 2 Augusts, and to see that kind of green in August is great to see all around in the broader markets. But SAVA was a nice overnight call. That 50 to 52 support spot, which I alerted, you're now up 10 to 12% if you added on those dips that I alerted, I think it was yesterday or the day before. So this is a slow churner. There's a lot of volatility on this name with the Alzheimer data, and I think there's a lawsuit. There's also a short report, and then you have the bull side analysts. So there's a lot of fighting back and forth. I don't necessarily love to get in the large biotech fight, especially for Alzheimer's. There are no sort of cures or I think FDA approvals. I think BBIG got one approval, which was, I think, question it a while back. And so that's really the only one, I think, in the last couple of decades that's got FDA approved. So there's a ton of companies out there trying to get Alzheimer's FDA approved. And this stock has ran up to 140 from the 7s. I remember we were trading this in the 7, 8, 9s, and it ran the 140. So this has been a hell of a play in 2020, 2021. There are probably going to be some profit takers down here, up here. They're up 200, 300, 400, 500, 600%. And then you have also large funds maybe taking positions. I don't know. I do want to keep watching it, though, because I do think it's very fun to scalp all day long. You have the call side, put side on the option flow side of things, which are very liquid on this name. And then specifically just shares alone, you could get a ton out of it. So, I'm going to be watching this name. I always kind of check in on it daily because there's solid moves and there's a lot of volume. So when there's a lot of volume, a lot of range percentage on the option side or even the share side, right? I mean, this was a 6% move today, hit a peak of 13%. That's a big move on hundreds of millions of dollars traded. So do want to keep an eye on this one. We'll continue to watch this one. Don't know if it's going to get back down to 50 support or we're going to sort of trend line up back to 60, 70s. We'll keep an eye on that. That was that name. BBIG. A lot of questions on this name. What a beautiful close. A lot of questions on this name. And so we had a nice washout here in the morning, 9:30 a.m. Total washout here, 6-7 million shares. Hit 551. That's 551. That's like a 40% move in one day back up to these 8s. A lot of hype on this name. I never like to follow the hype. I like to follow the hype in terms of I like to buy where the hype is sort of dying off or sort of washing out, but there's still hype, like there's still big volume. I don't like to chase these stocks. My preferred entry probably would have been down in here at $6 a share after I saw these candles up. $6 would have been my best entry. My second entry, I would have liked to see like a 680, 690, maybe even 7 on the high end. This had a gorgeous close today, up 16%. Let's take a look at the daily chart, just maybe predict where this ticker may be able to go. Let's take a look. So we have back in January of 2021, we saw a high of 931. And then we saw a high of 10 yesterday. It is a nice inside squeeze, a nice inside bar candle here on the daily. So a major selling pressure yesterday. Huge amount of volume now, 321 million shares, 180 million shares today. Maybe this approaches the 9s again, 9-10s tomorrow or maybe end of week. I don't know. Could easily see this sort of fading back down to the 530s. But as you saw today, there was a ton of buying in there. So this ticker may not be done yet. Definitely worth a watch. Definitely worth some, there's a lot of liquidity on this name, so definitely worth it. We'll be keeping an eye, but there's a huge, resistance at 950. And that's really where the selling pressure started both times, back in January and then yesterday. So for me, if that 950, 10, 1020 breaks clearly, I would be more prone to taking a position or a swing or scalp position if that breaks. Because to me, that shows me that we're headed to new highs. If we look at the weekly chart, let's take a look at some of the resistance points. If we go all the way back, really the high is 1163. And there's a lot of resistance, as I mentioned. There's resistance at 771. We broke that. The major resistance is really, guys, at the 943 mark. That's a triple top on the weekly. This would have to break sort of 9, 10, 11s clean for me to see a move to maybe 14, 15, 16s. And I'm not saying tomorrow, I'm not saying Friday, I'm not saying next week or next month or next year. I don't know when that move can possibly happen. I'm saying if this ticker continues its bullish momentum, that would be the key breaks for me. If it breaks these triple tops, I'd like to take a position for the upside. But if it stays in this range, it could get slammed back to the 3s, the 4s, the 5s. So I don't really know. But those are your 3 sort of points for bullish activity. And those would be sort of, that's how I would sort of play this name. There is a ton of liquidity, so I would maybe try and play scalps each day. There's a ton of, ton of flow, I like to call it. You can really get in and out with size, which is the best for a liquidity trader like myself. You could buy, 25 to 100,000 shares, like that. That's how it's filling. I mean, there's so much volume around these names. And when there's that kind of volume, there's going to be big moves in both directions. And so you just have to be patient on where you're playing. Pick your spots, pick your dips, and then sell your rips. So, this is a name I'll keep an eye on for the rest of the week. But I think 9-10s would be sort of that next area where you'd want to start locking profits. That's where the selling pressure has started and occurred in the last year in January, this year in January, and then yesterday. So that's that name. I've covered SAVA, BBIG, RNXT, and I covered ELYS. That was really it for my watches in place today, guys. It's super slow month. It's August. There's a lot of funds. There's a lot of traders. There's a lot of analysts. Everyone's on vacation. You got a big, huge, 3 or 4 day weekend coming up. I suspect things to be very, very slow the next 2 or 3 days. I personally, myself, am probably going to try and take off Wednesday, maybe Wednesday afternoon, and try and take off Thursday, Friday for the long weekend. I may not even trade, just depending on how it is. I mean, if the price action is absolute shit, I won't trade. I'll sort of just hang out, go enjoy my weekend. But yeah, guys, that's really it. Hopefully these sessions are helpful in terms of the TA analysis that I run through. Today was a red day, 6,000. Today felt like a red 30,000 day because I just wasn't executing well. Nothing was going my way. I was getting slammed down by some algos, some bigger size. It wasn't a fun trading day. Had a great morning on ELYS and a few other names, SAVA, and just blew out my profits in the end of the day. That's part of trading. It happens. Had a big red sort of, I think it was $68,000 yesterday. So a little bit of a hiccup backwards, but as I mentioned, you can't go green every day. If you could go green 50, 60% of the time and let your winners run big and let your losers keep them tight, then you're going to be a great trader. You're going to really grow that. You're going to really grow your account. As long as you're winning 50, 60, 70% of the time, keeping the losses tight, but letting your winners run like a freaking horse, you're gonna do well in this trading profession. So, hopefully that's helpful. Sort of advice. Hopefully that's helpful. Sort of quotes. But yeah. So I'm gonna end my month there. I'm gonna just go relax. I'm probably gonna go maybe just hang out, grab a bite to eat. Was a great month, as I mentioned. Green $243,000. Was my best green month in the last 2 months. It's probably my 4th best month on the year. So it was just a solid all-around trading month. As I mentioned, I was red the first 2 weeks and really on the tail end came back super strong with some strength and sort of the tail end back here. So it was great to see. I'm happy with myself in terms of being disciplined. I'm hoping a lot of folks are really trying to learn the discipline, when to take profits, where to enter trades, right? You don't want to be buying the FOMO tops and then being, stopped out for 10% lower, where you could be buying the 10% lower and selling, the rips. So you want to pick your spots, study, follow my last YouTube videos. There's so much great content out there, guys. There's a reason I have, over 4,000 subscribers just to the YouTube alone. I just made the YouTube about a month ago. So it's getting a ton of action already. I'm getting tons of messages and sort of DMs about it. People are learning. People are dialed in. So that's really all I care about at the end of the day. I want to teach and coach as many thousands of people as I can. I'm going to be here and try and help as many folks and new traders as I possibly can, guys. And I don't plan on going anywhere anytime soon. So learn with me, ride with me. let's continue sort of navigating any market we're in, bull, bear, sort of chop. We'll figure out, some of the best A++ setups, whether that's options, large caps or small caps or whatever's going that day. So take care, guys. Have a great night. And we will talk soon. Spud Zone out. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe to the channel below. If you're not subscribed to Discord, definitely check out the link in the bio for YouTube. We have, as I mentioned, 17,000 members in there, full-on options team, educational channels, as well as my live alerts intraday as well. So highly recommend it. You can learn a ton. And there's been some phenomenal calls recently, especially in options as well. Awesome, guys. Take care and have a wonderful night.